Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can see by the title of the video, we are going to be making Dickies. Ever since I told Nolan that I was doing this video, he cannot stop making dirty jokes about it. I understand, I did not invent the name, I don't know why they're called that. I'm just gonna call them half turtlenecks. Not that that makes it better, because you know, you can make jokes about that, but this is what they look like. They were originally invented in the early 19th century. They were used actually for men's clothing, and it was just kind of like a half shirt, and then you would wear your blazer coat over it. The first time I ever heard about them, I was either going through my mom's clothes or my grandma's clothes, and she had one, and my mom said she used to wear them in the 80s as the turtleneck, and then you can just wear them under your sweaters, under your t-shirts, and you don't have to wear like a full-blown turtleneck. I had some fabric. You need stretch fabric, and I decided that I wanted to make a few. Before we get into the tutorial, make sure to subscribe and like this video if you like it so far, and let's get into it. You will need some stretchy fabric. Make sure that it's stretchy or else you won't be able to get it over your head. I used a washable marker, some pins, a turtleneck I already had so that I could use it as kind of a pattern guide, and then some string. Oh, and a ruler, and of course your sewing machine. So you will then lay your fabric out the pretty side down so that you can write with your washable marker on this side of the fabric. I just placed my turtleneck on there, but I folded the collar part down. We're just going to trace the shoulders, that turtleneck part, and then I just did kind of a scoop so that it will lay across my chest. But you can do a square, you can do it pointed. It really doesn't matter because it's going to be underneath your clothes. Also, really make sure that you remember to do seam allowance. I usually just do it as I'm cutting things out. It will be very important since turtlenecks are tight fitted. You really want to make sure that you'll be able to fit it over your head. This one that I cut out using my turtleneck pattern, I just used it as the next pattern and cut it out again. So I have 2 of the same body part. You are welcome to do 4 so if you want to make it look more clean, but it's underneath my shirt, so I just cut it out twice. The next thing I did was the turtleneck part, and actually don't listen to what the heck I'm doing here, because after I thought I was finished anyway, I showed Nolan and he was like, why is there a seam here? So there's a different way that we're going to do it a little bit later. So let's just skip and ignore this because I had to redo it anyway. I'm now pinning the body part, that's what I'm going to call it, together, pretty side to pretty side, and you're just pinning the shoulders because you want to leave that neck part open. Hey Frank, could you stop making noises with your mouth, please? You're ruining my voiceover. Everyone can hear that. Thank you. And I sewed it using the tiniest stitches. I don't want it to fall apart. And now we just sew it together. Okay, this part will actually be important for the next time around when I actually do the turtleneck part correct. You're going to have the body part inside out, and then I just sandwich it together. So both the pieces are inside out right now. Make sure to line the seams up, and you really want to make sure that this black line on that turtleneck part is not going to be shown when you flip it right side back out. This is where I realized that I did something wrong. So it turns out I'm really dumb, and when you fold the turtleneck down, then you can see the seam, which is not what we wanted. So I'm going to make another one and show you the correct way to do it, but for this one, I'm just gonna end up folding it inside itself, or just like, you know, have an extra long turtleneck. Let's do it again. Here is round 2, and I'm hoping that this makes sense as I'm trying to explain it. If you can see on this turtleneck, there's a seam right here, but the top doesn't have a seam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it this way where there's a seam, and I will have to cut out 2 lengthwise of this, and to make it fold over, I will have to cut 2 lengthwise going up, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to sew the first band all the way around together, and then the second one, put them inside each other, and sew it to the neck. Hopefully. I decided for the second one to do it a little bit different. So what I did with the neck this time is I pretty much just put it down and drew out just the normal square, but then I doubled it going horizontally and I doubled it going vertically. So there are 4 different squares, and then you just cut around the perimeter of all of them. Then you fold it so long ways, and then you fold it in half again, and I am going to sew on this edge. You can see I sewed on the edge, and now what I'm doing is just cutting off that excess fabric so that it's not just hanging out there, so it's a little more clean. Now when I attach it to the body, we have the body part inside out, and then I'm attaching it so that when it's right side out, I do have the seam showing, but then when you fold it down, the seam will not be showing. Does that make sense? Hopefully. And I connected it with that seam at the very, very back, kind of going along their spine, because it will be covered by my hair and not be noticeable, hopefully. And this is the finished product. And I actually made it massively big for my neck. So what you'll see in the final reveal is that it doesn't stay up very well on me. But here's the final reveal. I still think they're super cute, and I'm really excited to make some more of them. I do have another green fabric that I can use, and I always run across different stretchy fabrics at Savers that I can use just for a couple bucks. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on making Dickies, or small turtlenecks as I call them, half turtlenecks, you know. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more craft sewing videos or just whatever I decide to make. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye!